Hi, Diane Evans here with StampinWithDiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Canada, British Columbia on the West Coast. Anyways, today what I want to do is I want to show you my thank you cards for the month of July. I'm using this shaded summer. I kind of think that this is a stamp set that might get missed in the annual catalog, but look at all these sentiments. They're just absolutely fantastic. And then of course with these floral pictures, and there's so many different techniques that you can do with these because they are the clear mount stamps. There's a lot more different types of techniques that you can do with it, but today all I'm going to do is I'm going to do some simple embossing. But the reason why I picked out this particular stamp set is because in Sale-A-Bration, which starts on August the 3rd, yes, we're having our second celebration. It goes from August the 3rd to September the 30th. There is something in here that goes along with this. So although I can't show you inside the catalog, I will definitely show you. So here are the dies that go along with these fantastic this fantastic stamp set. So lots of different images on there. We're going to use just a couple actually today, but if you spend, and this is in Canada, if you spend $120, you can get these dies for free. So amazing deal. So like I say, I'm going to do my thank you cards using those today. So I am doing a very I would say probably a stamp card that is very, how do I put it? More of a neutral type card. So I have my thick, very vanilla, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And I'm going to go in, and I am going to, I just had to double check that. It looked like it was a little bit bigger. And I'm just going to go and score that down with my bone folder. Now, all of these measurements will be down below. There'll be a link to my blog, and I'll have all the measurements on there as well, so you don't have to worry about jotting them down really quickly. I have a mat that is basic black, and it is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and we're just going to go ahead and put that on there. But I also have, and I've just done this 1/8 of an inch less of a border around, and this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and I've run it through my painted textured 3D embossing folder. I love the way that this looks on here. I'd actually started, I really wanted to use a different type of a folder on here, but it was just too busy. So I'm just going to use my all-purpose glue. This is quite a deep embossing folder, so you definitely want to make sure that you use the liquid glue. Now, did I mention that if you've never subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure that you do. There is a little thing down below here to subscribe. And by subscribing, you'll get notified when I upload a video. And also, if you hit that bell, you get notified right away. So I did layer that on there. And originally what I was going to do, I was going to go all off kilter. I was going to have it go this way and this way. But because of my very thin border, that didn't quite work as well. So I'm also going to go ahead and just layer this. You'll see how simple this card really is. I did do a little tiny bit of extra on it just to make sure that it has that wow pop on there. All right, so we've got that on there. Now what I want to do is I want to come in with my bigger image, this image here, and I'm going to, originally what I did was I thought, well, okay, I really like very vanilla and black together. I think it looks amazing. But when I did it in the black, and even though I used my Stamparatus and stamped it over and over again, it didn't quite work the way I wanted it to work. It wasn't dark enough. So because Stampin' Up brought back the basics embossing powder, I can use this with basic black. So I'm going to use my Versamark, and I'm just, you saw I went and I did an anti-static thing. That's our old retired embossing buddy, but you can make your own by getting an infant sock. And I sound like a broken record when I say this, but I say it every time I use my embossing buddy, is you can make your own by getting an infant sock from dollar store and fill it with some cornstarch, sew it up really, really good, and you'll have an anti-static thing. So I'm just going to go, and we're just going to, oh my goodness, I got some thread on there, or some twine. I'm just going to do this like this, and then I've got my black embossing powder. I put mine into one of these tubs because it works better for me. I'm just going to go in and get that covered. We're just going to flick this. And while I've got this out, I might as well do my thank you. There is this thank you on the sentiments here, and I'm just going to go and I'm going to use that on this piece of Very Vanilla. This piece is actually at, let's see, it's 2.5 by 7/8, and the black that we're going to layer it on is 1 inch by 2 5/8, so it's another 1/8 of an inch difference on there. So I've already got this mounted. I'm going to come in with my Versamark again. We want to make sure that we have no halos on here. And then I'm going to just put this, and I've got a shadow there, so I'm having issues seeing that. And I'm just putting this off to the one side. So I'm just going to do that, and let's just put it into the embossing powder. And now we can heat set that all together. Now this will be a tiny bit noisy, but you know, this was the one technique, the embossing technique, that really got me started with Stampin' Up. And I just absolutely love it. So the heat gun has the handle that you can hold it up. One thing I strongly suggest is you always unplug this. If this happens to switch on, trust me, it will burn. And it could burn a hole in your carpet, or you know, it could do some other serious damage. There's 2 levels to it. There's this one, which is a drying level, and then we have the higher heat, which is for the embossing powders. So like I say, I'm just going to start doing this. I don't move my gun like this. You can tend to go into overheating when you do that. So this is starting. You can start to see it go shiny. And I just moved my paper. I find that works 100% better for me. You can see. And you always want to make sure that you've got it all, because if you don't have it all heated, what happens is when you go to do something with it, it is going to rub off. So there's that, and then let's just do our words. But you can see where the black embossing powder makes this show up. And like I say, I could not get it that dark if I didn't use the embossing powder. It just, like I say, it, even though I went 3 or 4 times with my, with the Stamparatus and that, I just could not get it dark enough. Okay, we're going to cut this out, but I've also gone ahead and I've cut out 2 of these leaves with the dies that are here, and then I'm just going to take this and we're going to use our baby cut and emboss. And I'll just bring that in. See, I've been cutting with this, so. And then I'm just going to put this on here. And I have my, I use, because we don't have our magnetic plates yet, I use, this is Post-it note tape. So when I line it up, I just make sure I've got it good and lined up. And the key is to make sure that you can see the black through this slot here. There we go. And this Post-it note tape is getting pretty, well, it's been used a lot, so we hope it just stays in place. Okay, so let's just run that through. And like I say, I've already cut the other one through, so there's no big deal on that with the leaves. So we'll just put this away. And usually if I'm just going to do multiples of these, which I have done for my July thank you cards, then it just comes out like that. Okay. So now what we also have is I use that same die and I cut out just also the silhouette part of this. And this is going to act as a bit of a shadow for me on here. All right, so this is going to go on here. First of all, let's get this part on. You can just use my seal on this part. And then I'm going to pop this other part up. Now, originally what I was going to do was I was going to, probably should have used the glue for the wiggle room. Originally what I was going to do was wrap a ribbon around here, but I just found it was just a bit too much. Oh dear. Does that happen to you where you can't get that on? I should have used the glue because that does give me a bit of wiggle room on there. There we go. Now, I have this ribbon, and this is the metallic ribbon. So I'm just going to take it, and I'm just going to tie a knot in it. I don't want a bow for one on this card, but I do want something on here that goes like so. So I'm just going to do that like that, and I'm going to actually trim this off. I'm going to have it go here. So I'm going to come in with my glue dot to begin with, and then we'll give it a trim. So let's... And this is a bit too big, the glue dot, so just squish it up. Sticking to my finger instead of on here. And then I'm just going to put that onto there. And then we're going to give this a bit of a trim. So, and then I'm going to line that up there. So let's come in with our dimensionals. All right. Now this is black. There's black, so always when I have a bit of black, I always use my black dimensionals. I don't like seeing white against my black. I have no reason why. It's just something that appeals to my eye. So when I'm looking down, I don't see that. And then what I'm doing is I'm lining that part up over there, just like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to pop this up onto my shadow part. Let's go ahead and take these off. Whoops. There's a lot more prep work to this particular card than what I normally would do for a thank you card, but it seems like I've been doing a lot of that for my thank you cards lately anyways. So I'm going to just layer that, and you know what, I should have put one there, so let's go ahead and put one on the back there. And then we're going to put that on there. Now I also am thinking that I want to pop that up again. So we're double dimensionalizing this. And then what I'm going to do before I put this down, I'm also going to go ahead and I am going to just put a tiny bit of glue on the back of these two here, because I want that not to flip up like that, but I want it to be down onto the card. So let's take these off. There we go. So just like this. And then I'm just going to put my leaves on there as well. I have no problems if they pop up a little bit. There, and then we can put another one. Let's see. I want those to go down, glue down. So I think I'm even going to go and put these like so. All right, so we'll just put a bit of glue on there. Whoops, it's too far down. There we go. And then what we can do is we can come in with our matted black dots, and let's put those on there. And we'll put another one of these bigger ones. We could put down here, or we could do up here. You know what? I think I'm actually going to, that's not really a triangle, is it? Let's go there, take this one off, and just put that there. So that's added a bit of a different look on there. So there we have that. That's my thank you card for this month. That is using the Sale-A-Bration, the new Sale-A-Bration, and this shaded summer die. Now, if you like that, give me the thumbs up. If you have any comments, I'd love for you to leave some comments. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, if you live in Canada and you do not have a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. I can send you out catalogs. We do have new catalogs coming out that go live on August the 3rd. Also, I do have a very generous reward program, but I also, for every order that I get, I give away tutorials each and every month. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's 2 tutorials. It just depends. But if you use the host code, I do have different rewards for you. So I hope you enjoyed that, and have a great day. Bye for now.